Hey, first graders. Welcome to Fundations Unit 10, Week 3. You guys have been doing such an awesome job these past 3 weeks. We're getting ready for our next checkup before we move on to Unit 11. So this week, I want you to make sure you feel really confident in the work that you're doing. If you don't feel really confident, it's a great time to reach out to your teacher, whether it be me, Mrs. Humphreys, Miss Snyder, or Miss Merritt, and just say, hey, I'm not really sure if I'm getting this, so that we can help you a little bit better. Okay? On Monday and Tuesday of this week, we're going to talk about vowel teams. And on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to talk about some base words and suffixes. Okay? All of us are becoming experts at knowing that as first graders, we have 5 vowels: A, E, I, O, and U. We know that sometimes those vowels make short vowel sounds, and sometimes those vowels make long vowel sounds, right? So short vowels should be easy for you. A, apple. E, ed, I, itch, O, octopus, and U, up. Awesome. If you could say all of those, that's a fantastic job. We're also learning that all 5 of those vowels make long vowel sounds. Mrs. Libro likes to say, A says A, E says E, I says I, O says O, U says U. Those aren't the right stories that Fundations wants us to say, but I think it's important for us to know when we have a long A sound, it says A, and there are so many different ways that it can say A, okay? 2 of those ways you've already been introduced to, AI and AY. When I have AI next to each other, I have a long A sound, B-8. When I have AY next to each other, I have a long A sound, pl-A. Same with E. We know 3 different ways I can make a long E sound. E-E as in j, eep, E-A as in eat, and E-Y as in key. All 3 of these are making my E say E. When my E says E, I have a long vowel sound. So important for us to remember. We also talked about the long O sound. O-A, O-E, and O-Y. O-A, b-oat. O-E, t-o. Do you hear how I'm saying that long vowel sound? Awesome. O-W, sn-o. And now we're starting to learn that vowel teams can also make other sounds, not necessarily short, not necessarily long. O-W can also say ow, as in plow. O-I can say oi, as in coin and boy. Last week we learned about U-E, as in ooh, ooh. We also know U-E can make a long U sound, as in rescue, you, okay? So many different sounds that we're hearing with these vowel teams. Finally, I showed you last week that EW also says ooh, as in chew your food very carefully. I'm going to teach you 2 new vowel teams this week, AU and AW. AU as in all, August. Oh, kind of like ALL, ball, all. Same sounds, except the vowel team here is AU. Sometimes that vowel team can be AW, all, ALL, ball, all. I'm hearing the same sound. It's just a different way to say it. We have AU, we have AW, and we already knew we had ALL. Why is it important for us to know this? Because as readers and as writers, you're going to start coming across words like August and saw in your writing and in your reading. And it's really important that you know the sounds that those letters make together so that you can read the word correctly. It's also important for you to know this is never something a first grade teacher is going to be assessing you on, okay? It's something you'll get assessed on in 2nd grade and in 3rd grade. What's important now is that you begin to see it and realize these vowel teams working together. So now that we know what our vowel teams are, we're going to do the same kind of thing that we've been doing for the past few weeks. We're going to be word detectives in our reading. Today, you're going to make a paper that looks very similar to this. If you can't print it, it's not a big deal. You can make it right on a piece of paper. I want AW to be in the middle. And I want you to try to see if you can come up with 3 words, whether it be in your reading or just in your mind, that have that all sound. I already gave you 3 as examples that you can plug in. You're going to try to come up with 3 more on your own. If you're feeling really ambitious, you can also make one of these charts for AU, all, as in August. Okay? Awesome. The second thing that you're going to do this week on Tuesday is take a look at this paper here. These are phrases, and all of these phrases have these vowel teams, or they have the blends and the consonants that we've been talking about. So I would love it if you could look at these phrases and read them to someone at home. You do not need to print out this paper. You do not need to worry about the bottom of it. All I really want you to do is point to the phrase and see how fluently you can read it. Okay? You can do that right on the computer if you can bring up this paper. That's Monday and Tuesday, and we'll talk again on Wednesday. All right, guys? Keep up the great work. I look forward to hearing how you're making out. Bye now.